Okay fellas, first time I've ever used this camera to make a video, so I'm not sure how good it's going to work, but this is a converter, the drive converter out of a KVF 360 Prairie. It is stuck together, and I have made a quick little jig to take it apart, and it worked. And I will show you what I used to get it apart. Used a standard tow strap, but it is a nice heavy tow strap. Wrapped it around it a couple times down at the base, around the pulley part of it. Overlapped it just the one time is all it did. Brought it on around so that it overlapped itself. Got a nice 1/2 inch strong arm, hooked it through there, hooked it through here. Now it's not going to grip right now, but I'm not worried about it. I did get it broke loose, and that's the reason I'm doing this, is it did work like a charm. I've got a piece of square steel tubing here somewhere, and I actually put it on the strong arm. Had about 4 foot of cheater bar on it. Put all kinds of pressure on this, and sure enough, without tearing anything up, it did break it loose. So as you can see, it is spinning loose. Now what I actually did to hold the thing in place, just a piece of all thread, and I did drill a hole through my workbench top. And this is an old workbench, so I didn't care if I drilled a hole in or not. Just a couple washers on the bottom side, a couple washers on the top side, like I say, all thread going all the way through it. That held all this in place. Now on the countertop, I very carefully marked where the fins on the bottom of the drive clutch would sit on the countertop, so that I had all kinds of pressure points, so I wasn't trying to do it in just a couple. Don't know if you can see the indentions, but how tight I had this thing screwed to the tabletop. I actually dug down into the countertop some, but it did work great. There are no scars or bent fins on the bottom of this, so that's fine. And the spider does screw right off now. And like I said, I put a whole lot of pressure on it. I actually scooted the table away from the wall at one point in time. Had to put it back. Thought I was going to have to just buy a whole new assembly because it was so much pressure on it. I thought I was going to break something before I actually got it loose, but it did break loose, and I wanted everybody to see how I did it in case they wanted to do this and not take it to a shop. 7 bolts in the top of the workbench, hole drilled through it for my all thread rod to drop through. Just dropped it through the drive converter. Set it all down on the countertop, lined up the fins with all of the bolts sticking through the countertop. Took 2 washers, 2 just for good measure, and the nut. Threaded on the rod from the bottom side, tightened it down, torqued it down really tight so that it would not have any chance of lifting off the bolts. Wrapped my tow strap around it one good time. Got my cheater bar hooked onto it really good. Got my other cheater bar to put on that one. Was really leaning into it. Like I said, it was to the point that I thought I was either going to break something or get it loose, and I wasn't worried if I broke it because I couldn't get it apart anyway. Didn't figure had anything to lose, and it's apart like a charm. So there you go. Hope that helps somebody. Just a little bit of info. So there you go.